Many work with companies on advertising campaigns, charitable initiatives, educational programs, and community events that extend well beyond competition. These collaborations allow athletes to strengthen their public profiles while helping sponsors communicate authentic stories that resonate with fans. Successful sponsorships depend on more than just financial investment. Organizations look for partners that share similar values, understand their audience, and are committed to building long-term relationships. When those goals align, sponsorship becomes more than just a marketing agreement. It becomes an important part of growing the sport itself. As the sports industry continues expanding across traditional media, streaming platforms, and digital channels, sponsorship is expected to remain one of the most valuable resources supporting innovation, fan engagement, and the future growth of athletics. In other sports, athletic trainers are among the most important professionals in sports, even though fans rarely see their work. From preparing athletes before competition to assisting during injuries and guiding rehabilitation afterward, athletic trainers help keep players healthy throughout every stage of a season. Working closely with physicians, coaches, and performance specialists, they play a vital role behind the scenes, allowing athletes to compete safely while supporting long-term health and performance. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
It was the Roman poet Virgil who said, "Easy is the descent to hell. All night long, all day, the doors of dark Hades stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell. We'll talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Sports Byline USA. All right, thank you so much, and welcome to a Thursday edition of Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. I'm Rick Tittle, that's fitting. What if it was Titillating Sports with Raul Leibowitz? I guess I'd still be doing a show. I'd just be filling in for Raul. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's all you got to know. That's the number. Call me up and let's talk football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, quidditch, rollerball, chess, checkers, rugby, cricket. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that stuff. 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529 will get you in and get you heard, wherever you might happen to be listening in this great land of Romania and the U.S. of A as well. My mom said that when Hawaii and Alaska got admitted into the UN, that they ruined our flag. I was like, what? I go, oh yeah, if you look at the flags like during World War II, there's symmetry to the 48 stars. Now we got to go odd, even, but that's all I've ever known. And they didn't ruin the flag. They just wanted to join. We're happy to have them. 1-800-878-PLAY. Tons of open lines today. I just have really 3 spots where we'll have guests. Michael-Shawn Dugar has written a book about the Seahawks called 12 as 1. We'll talk to him at 10:40, everybody's favorite team. And then at the end of the show, now these guys are always, these press junkets with big shots, they're always like 5 minutes late. I hope I can squeeze it in. If I can't, then we'll probably tape it and do it tomorrow. But Owen Wilson, also actor Rodrigo Santoro, and director Scott Webb of the film Runner will join us at 11:50 Pacific time. So we're going to break early. We're going to give you all that goodness, and that's the prize at the end of the show. I hope, anyway. 1-800-878-PLAY, TuneIn app, iHeartRadio app, Yahoo, Twitch. Come on back.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Progressive knows when it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, your mind starts racing, asking the big questions.
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? How come you never see baby pigeons? Am I breathing weird right now, or have I always breathed like this?
Progressive can't help with those questions. But if the question keeping you up at night is about your insurance, rest assured, we're here online when you need us, 24/7, 365.
But seriously, where are all the baby pigeons?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
The Tahoe Lakeshore Lodge and Spa invites you to experience spring in Tahoe. Whether it's hiking, getting pampered in the spa, or relaxing by the lake, the Tahoe Lakeshore Lodge and Spa is the perfect destination, as it is close to many restaurants, Heavenly Village, and nature areas to explore. Every room has a spectacular Lake Tahoe view. Call 800-448-4577 or go to TahoeLakeshoreLodge.com to reserve your room with a view.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
Good for you. Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. And scheduled for 7 hours on the air today. I'll be on KMBR with Derek Papa, co-hosting Dirty Work, filling in for Adam Copeland. That'll be 2 to 6 p.m. KNBR, the sports leader. But right now, I am national. I am syndicated. I'm on Armed Forces. I'm with you. Let's talk some sports. Today, it's official, and if you told me this in the 80s or 90s, I wouldn't have believed you, but the Pro Bowl is officially gone. Gone. It's kind of been gone, but I think when Shedeur Sanders was named to the Pro Bowl last season, I think they were like, yeah, I don't think we need to do this anymore. I mean, basically what they had was, dodgeball is what they had over the last few years. It used to be a real rite of passage, and it was something everybody looked forward to. It was a free trip to Hawaii. And then there were always these stories about how whoever the first guy or the rookie at the Pro Bowl was, that they would charge their room. Everybody would charge their drinks and meals to one guy's room. And the guy would check out and they would like, oh, thank you for staying with us, sir. And here's your here's your tab. It's $15,000. And he's like, what? I got one massage. And they were like, yeah. So it was a bit wonky. But just remember that Shedeur Sanders, 7 touchdowns, 10 INTs last year. Now, is it his fault that he got named to the Pro Bowl? No, it was not his Pro Bowl. It was not his fault. His quarterback rating, 68.1. So that's when they were probably like, all right, look, we can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. So you're still going to be called a Pro Bowler. How many guys? 88. What? That's right. 88 people will be named to a Pro Bowl, or just get the designation Pro Bowler. Peter O'Reilly is the NFL Executive Vice President of Club Business and International League Events. How's that for a fake job? Just a guy sits at a desk having martinis in Manhattan all day, I tell you. Just kidding. He said, the Pro Bowl has always been about recognizing the players who distinguish themselves as the very best in the NFL. A Pro Bowl selection will return to its original purpose, honoring the best of the best. We want that distinction to carry even greater meaning for the players, their families, their clubs, and our fans. And we know people get named to the Pro Bowl and they're like, no, dude. Especially not 17-game season. I'm out. I got plans. Where are you going? It doesn't matter. I got plans. Well, we're not going to Hawaii anymore. Where are we going? We're going to Florida. Yeah, I'm really out. But this was back when a free trip to Hawaii meant something to the players and their families. You know, and it was always weird because the AFC wore red jerseys, and so there's Todd Christensen wearing a red jersey with a Raider helmet. It's like a Chiefs jersey. And Rich Gannon, NFL MVP, worst quarterback in Super Bowl history, and then after that, Pro Bowl MVP. Bad timing, right? But now they have all these different they had anyway, flag football game. I remember Hunter Renfrow was in that. They played indoors. I didn't even go. Did you go to that, Don? The indoor Pro Bowl game at Moscone? No. And that's the thing. We here at Byline had access to all that stuff.
It was like on a Tuesday night, though. It was weird.
It was very weird. We were at Radio Row. We had access to all the parties. We couldn't be arsed literally to walk across the street to that thing. And we love football. So this is why they're like, all right, enough already. So, I mean, you had Joe Flacco in the Pro Bowl last year. Joe Flacco. And that guy was 3/4 retired. And when they played it indoors, the NFC, I didn't even know this. The NFC won 66-52. I don't ever remember reading that. Now you might say, Rick, you're a hater. Maybe I am. But as I said, I was immersed in that whole thing for a week. And it was a crazy week. I wouldn't want to do it every month, but it was fun. And why would we go to that? And so the NFL is what they're trying to do is renew the significance of being named a Pro Bowler, although 88 seems like a lot. So what they're going to do this year is if you are a Pro Bowler, you will be invited to Los Angeles for an in-person celebration during traditional Pro Bowl weekend. They say an equal-weighted voting process among players, coaches, and fans will continue to be used in determining the Pro Bowl roster. The class will be revealed in late December through an enhanced announcement. What are they going to have? A hologram of Princess Leia? An enhanced announcement. It said that Pro Bowlers' uniforms will be adorned with lasting and visible recognition. Okay, so you're going to have probably a little shiny hologram thing that says Pro Bowl on your shoulder. I got no problem with that. That's actually kind of cool. It's like in baseball, your first game you play now, there's a little thing on your sleeve that says debut or whatever. I don't mind stuff like that. But, I mean, for decades, it was the week after the Super Bowl. It was in Honolulu. It was over 30 years there. And then Orlando, and then Vegas. And as I said, it was 4 years ago. They said, let's just make it a skills competition. Troy Vincent, who's a vice president of baseball ops, football ops for the NFL, been there a long time, used to be in charge of discipline, former New England wideout. He said, this direction came directly from our continued conversations with players and what they value most about the Pro Bowl. Being selected by your peers, coaches, and fans as one of the very best at your position carries tremendous meaning. We heard clearly that the distinction matters, and our focus is on making the recognition that comes with it worthy of what these players accomplish on the field. So, in other words, look, we have a Pro Bowl, we need to make up numbers. Nope, he's hurt, he's in the playoffs, or he's in the Super Bowl, he's hurt, he doesn't want to go, he's pretending to be hurt. Well, who's left? Shadur Sanders. What? He sucks. He's a name. He's a name. I tell you, Jerry, he's a name. All right, Maynard. Hello, Shadur. Would you like to be in the Pro Bowl? Yeah, man, I'll do it. Yeah. Shadur Sanders, number 2 in your Jackson State and Colorado programs. Number 1 in your heart. Number 12 with the Cleveland Browns. I don't think, and I have nothing against Shadur Sanders. Like I said, if I was asked to go to the Pro Bowl, I hella woulda. Especially if I sucked. Now, if I'm Josh Allen and they go, hey, you want to go to the Pro Bowl? I'll be like, oh, my gosh. Not really. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back. Let's talk some sports on Sports Byline USA.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hear that overflow? That's not just rain. That's water pouring straight into your home's foundation. Clogged, broken, or missing gutters and downspouts can cause costly damage fast. We're talking foundation cracks, flooded basements, rotting wood, even mold. Most homeowners don't realize the damage until it's too late. We install, repair, and replace full-service gutter and downspout systems built to move water away from your home where it belongs. Call right now for a free gutter inspection. We'll show you exactly what's wrong and exactly how to fix it before it turns into a major repair bill. Call the Gutter Helpline now. Protect your home, protect your foundation. Fix your gutters before they fail. Here's the number.
800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. That's 800-884-1561. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. That's 800-796-1468.
I hope I don't see you for a while. Getting sick of you.
Take your sick ass in the hospital.
I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. So I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast. Call me up, 1-800-878-PLAY. We have open lines, y'all. The President of the United States fired off 46 social media posts in 2 hours yesterday. I don't even think a 14-year-old influencer could be that prolific. But one of them was about sports. That's why I bring it up. So there's this thing called Truth Social, which I think Trump started, or at least his people did. And I'm just looking, his picture or avatar, what do you want to call it? It's like his face, but the American flag is superimposed on his face. It's like his face looks like claymation or something. But it's hilarious because his name is real Donald Trump. Can he just get Donald Trump? Wasn't it his thing? Real. That's when like you're a celebrity. But anyway, here's his sports tweet. How about Roger Clemens not being in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, all because a bunch of jealous people with far less, capital T, talent voted that he shouldn't be there. He was also not convicted or admitted to taking, capital D, drugs. Roger is easily one of the few greatest pitchers of all time, winning 347 games, 7 Cy Young Awards, a record by 3, record capital R, and played in 3 World Series, winning 2, exclamation point. He was third most in strikeouts, capital STRIK hyphen capital OUTS, strikeouts. The commissioner told me he was going to approve Pete Rose, but he waited long enough until Pete died. No wonder baseball is in trouble, capital or exclamation point. President Donald J. Trump. Whew. He also put a post about this was me when I was 18, and it was him at military school, and then it was a picture of Obama at 18 who's wearing like a fly hat and has a cigarette in his mouth. You know you're the president, right? you know, you know you were. And then he posted a letter that he got from George Steinbrenner in 1989 that said, "Dear Donald, saw you on Morton Downey. He is a friend. You were great. You tell it like it is." Do you know Morton Downey, Dom? He went by Morton Downey Jr. He had this show in the 80s, and it was before it really took Springer to a new level. It was very New York. He was a disgusting guy. And look, we don't get to pick how we look. You know, if you're born ugly, you're born ugly. But this guy was not a good person. I mean, if he was a good person, I wouldn't even bring up that he was ugly. But he was such an ugly guy on the inside. But he just was disgusting. And just the fact that he was on that guy's show is pretty good. But anyway, it doesn't bother me. The meme with him, with Patton and MacArthur. First of all, the AI, it was just a white guy. It looked nothing like Patton. It looked nothing like MacArthur. And the false valor, you know, and then it was him. It was him kissing the American flag, and then it was him comparing himself with George Washington, and then it's his face on Mount Rushmore next to Lincoln. Regardless of your politics, I mean, it's just maybe there are very few people in this world that I know are insane, like Antonio Brown and the President of the United States. He and probably the most insecure person I've ever known, not personally, but just I've never seen ever seen in my life. The most insecure. You got to bash Obama? That was 100 years ago, dude. Okay. I only brought it up because there was a sports one. Forgive me, I got a little off the rails there. I led us on a merry dance down a cul-de-sac. All right. The adoption of a new college eligibility system, that age-based 5-year model, which was designed to eliminate red shirts and these roster log jams. By the way, roster log jams, those kids who are the 112th and 115th player, the ones who share numbers. It always seemed like at Cal, the best offensive player and the best defensive player had the same number. Well, he's 10 on defense. Why? Because we can't have 3-digit numbers and we have more than 100 guys. All right. But why don't you give his counterpart on the other side of the ball to a guy who will never play? And we won't get confused. But it's sort of like during the pandemic when Rob Manfred said, well, we're not playing baseball, so why don't we just get rid of affiliated leagues like the Pioneer League? It'll be a partner league, but it won't be affiliated. Why don't we flip the Cal League from high A to low A? Why don't we... What? What are you doing? Well, there's a log jam. We have to... Let's cut the draft down. We have too many players. All right. It's about saving money. That's what they mean by log jam. So this new system is that athletes who first enrolled in 2022 following graduation, that they now count as getting it all in 5 years. Now there used to be a lot of you had guys playing until their mid-20s sometimes, but we also know that more than 150 athletes filed 18 lawsuits in 15 states, and we know what happened in Louisiana, and this is the whole Daquan Wright thing that's going on. But right now, they say if a player is signed to an NFL contract and cut, he may return to college football subject to NCAA eligibility rules. This is why we have Daquan Wright. So now what the NFL says, an NFL club that signs such a player is subject to discipline by the commissioner, including loss of draft selections and negotiation rights of the player involved. They don't want people flipping. This memo also states club personnel are prohibited from entering any undisclosed agreement or understanding with any player or player affiliate, including player agents, involving consideration to a player. This prohibition includes any agreement or understanding regarding the player's future status or opportunity to return to the club after playing elsewhere during the 2026 season. Violations may subject clubs to the loss of draft choices and/or fines, and club personnel may also be subject to fines and/or suspension. So the SEC announced yesterday that they won't have athletes on its roster who previously declared for the NFL, the NBA, or WNBA draft and didn't appropriately withdraw. Because remember, you can get out easy. And so the SEC said that penalties will be enforced against member institutions that don't comply. We'll see about that one way or another. But what you can't do now is it's the flipping back and forth. And Sean McVay was asked about it, and he has a quote that's going around everywhere. And it's like, what do you think about guys who were in NFL camp and now they're going to go play in college again? He said, I feel like I took a freaking gummy. And he added, I don't even understand it. I mean, I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, surely that's not real. I just try to stay in my lane. But I would say it's very unique and it's very different. It's wild. That's what I would say. It is wild. Now that I've lost everything to you. It is baby. It's a wild world. And so I think there's this, as we went years and years and we still sit in the transfer portal and NIL. Well, what are we going to do? All right, well, let's do 5 years. And so what about hardship? No hardship. No hardship? Okay, in case of this. In case of what? What about walk-ons? No more walk-ons. How can there be no more walk-ons? Okay, walk-ons. Well, who gets to walk on? And so now there's this rush, like, this is so bizarre. And he says he felt like it took a gummy. And by the way, that's something, I've never taken any drugs in my life except over-the-counter or prescription stuff. Basically, bare aspirin is my drug of choice. I just remember one time we were at 95.7. We were going to have a goodbye party to this guy, Nick Brown, who was a really good guy. And he was very complimentary to me for helping him. And he was getting hired by ESPN to be a producer. So we were all going to have drinks. And there was one guy on the couch in the green room. And there's like 10 of us. I'm like, are you coming? And he's like, what? I took a gummy. I go, we're all getting drinks with Nick. He goes, Nick Brown? I go, no, Saint Nick. And I mean, like, And then I talk to comedians and I go, oh, I took a gummy. I was so dizzy all day. Good idea. All righty then. Come on back. We'll talk gummies.
Army with harmony. Dave, drop a load on 'em.
Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
By noon, I need them 8,000 hens moved into their new cages. Now, sometimes they don't want to cooperate, but you give them a good shaking, they'll settle down for you.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Do they have what?
Large talons.
I don't understand a word you just said.
Who cares about anything else when you've got Rick Tittle on the radio?
Oh, thank you for that. Welcome back today. We have open lines. Feel free to get in. 1-800-878-PLAY. In matters of jurisprudence in the NFL has continued to make a concerted effort to crack down on player taunting. You might remember last year that the penalties went even higher, and referees were quick to throw a flag when there was any questionable gesture after any type of play. Was that a gang-related gesture? You throwing up gang signs, Holmes? Did you pay homage to someone? Did you look at someone too long? Did you stand over them too long? Good. Look. So this is a little blurb from Front Office Sports, my favorite outlet. Quote, the NFL will continue to stress strict enforcement of its sportsmanship-related rules by its off-field officials this season. That means the officials will be expected to keep a close eye on players violating the league's rules, prohibiting taunting opponents, illegal celebrations, whoop whoop, and fighting at the behest of the NFL's competition committee. Taunting penalties are considered a form of unsportsmanlike conduct. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 27. That's a 15-yard penalty. It can also carry fines. The first offense, 12 grand. The second, that's a dinner at Ruth's Chris for these guys. By the way, what an overrated crap house that is. A second, this show brought to you by Ruth's Chris. I remember one time I said, boy, that place sucks. And somebody goes, hey, man, that guy screwed over his wife. She took over the steakhouse. She made a great job of it. I'm like, well, good for her. She's a millionaire. It doesn't mean that it's a good restaurant. Huh? She worked hard, man. That's great. Congrats. She's a success. Her restaurant sucks. If you have a hard luck story, does that mean you persevere? Does that mean the restaurant is good? I digress. A second offense, $18,000. That's if you take your offensive line to McDonald's. So the league first introduced this directive a year ago, and that's when the aforementioned Troy Vincent said violent gestures were up 133%, and sexual taunting was up 52%. Once again, I got violent gestures 133%. Sorry. Sexual taunting 52%. So all that can be is grabbing your crotch. I mean, there's a million things it could be, but I think it's mostly grabbing your crotch. Remember, beast mode, as he flew into the end zone, he went in midair upside down and held his crotch as he went in. So the league officials have really decided that they want to crack down even more, and maybe they go overboard on what they consider as a taunt. And you might remember in the NFC Championship game, Seattle defensive back Rick Woolen was penalized for taunting on a 4th and 12. That gave the Rams a first down, and they scored on the next play. Thankfully for that dude, it did not decide the game. The Seahawks narrowly defeated the Rams, and they won the Super Bowl. Other teams, maybe not so lucky. But also, as the NFL has put into play these unsportsmanlike conducts, safety. Weren't you a safety, Rick? Yes, I was a free safety. I didn't like playing strong safety because usually you just had to like guard the tight end and support the run. If you're a strong safety, you're not getting as many interception opportunities. Anyway, the NFL has put emphasis on the other type of safety, player safety, in recent years. And they've got another new rule this year. The Players Association and the league have agreed on 5 penalties that if you do them 3 times in 1 year, you'll get suspended for a game and lose a game check. Oof. And this is interesting. If they remain on the roster, they get 50% of their game check back at the end of the year. What the frick is that? You just want to punish somebody and then say, give me a game check. All right, you're still on the team. You get half of it back. That's weird. Anyway, that's probably just something that when they wanted the union to sign off on it, the union's like, okay, but we get half of it back later. And they're like, fine. So here are the 5 penalties. Do them 3 times, you're suspended. The hip drop tackle. The what? The hip drop tackle. This was outlawed 2 years ago. It's only happened 3 times in 2 years. And that's basically a guy's running by, you grab him, and then you flip yourself sideways. So you're basically bringing him down by the hip with your full body weight. You're not actually tackling him. You're just like low bridge, and then you grab onto him, swing your legs up, and then he falls down. Okay. I don't see what's so bad with that, but the horse collar tackle. Now, I've said this many times, I'll say it again. And that's the safest way to tackle somebody from behind for the player and for the guy tackling and the guy running the ball. It's just that T.O. broke his leg on a horse collar. He got twisted up, and it looked very violent. And they're like, "Oh, that's being outlawed." It's very easy to tackle somebody with a horse collar. You just have to grab them. You could be very weak, and that person could be very strong, and you can pull them down. That's just a very easy way. I've been tackled that way when I was playing quarterback. Now, it's always kind of surprising. You're like, whoop, you get flipped onto your back. But there are a lot worse ways to get tackled. For the defensive guy, when you are tackling somebody from behind, at best, you're going to get a heel in your crotch. You're going to get an elbow in your Adam's apple. You're going to get a fingernail in your eye socket. You're going to get punched in the stomach. I know these because all those things happen to me. I would much rather grab a guy by his neck. You're not even grabbing him by his neck. You're grabbing by his damn shoulder pad. All right. Third rule. Penalty, I should say. Launching. So there's different ways to interpret it, launching. First of all, anybody who, I don't think they teach form tackling anymore. I just don't think they do. But I always got yelled at if I launched, because you're taking away all your power when you do that. You want to keep your feet underneath you and be on the balls of your feet and be even. And then once you extend yourself, well, now your power is gone. You're just kind of, a temporary little missile. And there's sometimes when you're trying to tackle a guy, you need to dive to tackle him. And that's not launching either. What they're saying is somebody zooms in on you, they run up, they get all their power underneath them, and then they fly into the guy. But I'm sure there's going to be times when someone's just diving to make a tackle, and they're going to say it's launching. Number 4, hit on a defenseless player. Okay, there's no such thing as a defenseless player. You're a football player. You are a football player, and you have to keep your eyes open. And the rule is never stand by a pile. And I remember I almost got my head taken off, because what I didn't know is that offensive linemen dream of killing defensive backs. That's all they do. And I wasn't very fast, but when an offensive lineman started chasing me, I very easily ran away from him because I was way faster than he was. But that was their dream. I want to kill a safety. I want to kill a corner. And like, oh, because we dream about killing wide receivers and flankers. And so this defenseless player thing. But I do remember one time I stood by a pile, and as I turned, this guard, this little fat guard with a mustache. What do you have a mustache for in college, jackass? This little fat guard was literally flying through the air at like my head height. He literally was trying to guillotine me in midair. And I just turned in time. And I was like, that's kind of on me because I was standing by a pile. But if I would have gotten hit, tough crap. It's called football. Now, there's one more, blindside block. They used to make VHS tapes of blindside blocks. And that's usually an end around or an interception, and you're running one way and you're looking the other. It's usually like on those misdirections or like an interception return. And all of a sudden, you're running down the field, but you're looking back at the guy with the ball, and then somebody comes in and ear holes you. And we were taught to ear hole people. Now, is that smart? No. Do I forget every name like Nico Horner? Yeah, probably because of that. And it's not great. It's not great. But we used to be rewarded for blindside blocks. Now, those aren't crackbacks. Those are illegal. And I think crackback blocks should be illegal because they're too easy. That's just basically you're in motion. And there's a linebacker, maybe, there's Will in the flat. And as you're in motion, as soon as they snap the ball, you just absolutely crack him. And you have a running start and he doesn't. And that's why I don't like crackbacks, and that's why they're illegal, because one guy gets a running start. What is this, the CFL? You don't get a running start. What is this, the 55-yard line? So the NFL says, from now on, now everybody gets a clean slate this year, but they say from now on, these penalties will carry forward to subsequent seasons. Think about that. You horse collar somebody this year, you horse collar somebody 3 years from now, and you horse collar somebody 2 years after that, you're suspended. They have a list. They're checking it twice. They're going to see who's naughty and who's more naughty is what they're going to do. So, the league still has this panel that they talk to with former players. And one of them is the general manager of Cal football, his alma mater, Ron Rivera. He's still involved with it. I mean, they go around and they ask people, what about this? What about that? So those are the 5. Everybody has a clean slate, but we're keeping track. From now on, don't do none, or else you're going to get suspended if you do it 3 times. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, to you to mention, I did what I had to do, I saw it through, was nothing new, yeah.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solution Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solution Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you.
Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
This is special too. See, look, see, still got the old tagger on it. See, never even played it. See,
You just bought it.
don't touch it. Don't
well,
touch
I
it.
wasn't gonna touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't
It
even
can't
point?
be- No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No, you've seen
Don't
enough
look
of
at
that
it.
one.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right, hour 2, we have an author with a Seahawk book. Hour 3, Owen Wilson. Dominic Jimenez is on the other side of the glass. The Champions League draws have been made, the Conference League, the Europa League. And 5 teams have won the Champions League, or before that, the European Cup. It was called the Mini League. We call it the Champions League now. Can you tell me the 5 teams that have won multiple Champions Leagues?
Okay, Real Madrid.
They're the most by far. Yes, 15.
Barcelona.
Barcelona has 5.
United.
No.
City.
No.
Wow.
City's only been
Liverpool
good for 10
won
years.
one before
Liverpool has 6. Yes.
Bayern.
Bayern Munich has 6.
How many total teams are there?
There's one more.
Arsenal?
Nope. They've never won it.
Okay. Chelsea's won one. Have they won 2?
They've won 2, yeah. No, they've only won 1, sorry.
Oh, you got me all excited when I got it right.
Not Chelsea. No, sorry.
It's got to be one of the Italian teams. We'll go Inter.
Close.
AC Milan.
Yes. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Good job, Dom. We have another 2 hours. Come on back on Sports Byline.
This is an all sports news sports update.
I'm Brendan Cafferty. When fans think about sports sponsorship, they often notice company logos on uniforms, stadium signs, or television broadcasts. But today's sponsorships have evolved into strategic partnerships that help support athletes, teams, leagues, and sporting events while connecting businesses with millions of passionate fans around the world. For sports organizations, sponsorship revenue helps fund everything from player development and community outreach to facility improvements and event operations. These partnerships can provide financial stability while allowing teams and leagues to invest in better experiences for athletes and fans alike. Businesses have also changed the way they approach sponsorship. Instead of simply placing a logo where people can see it, companies increasingly work with sports organizations to create interactive experiences, digital content, community programs, and fan engagement initiatives. The goal is to build lasting relationships with consumers rather than simply increase brand recognition. Athletes are also becoming an important part of these partnerships. Many work with companies on advertising campaigns, charitable initiatives, educational programs, and community events that extend well beyond competition. These collaborations allow athletes to strengthen their public profiles while helping sponsors communicate authentic stories that resonate with fans. Successful sponsorships depend on more than just financial investment. Organizations look for partners that share similar values, understand their audience, and are committed to building long-term relationships. When those goals align, sponsorship becomes more than just a marketing agreement. It becomes an important part of growing the sport itself. As the sports industry continues expanding across traditional media, streaming platforms, and digital channels, sponsorship is expected to remain one of the most valuable resources supporting innovation, fan engagement, and the future growth of athletics. In other sports, athletic trainers are among the most important professionals in sports, even though fans rarely see their work. From preparing athletes before competition to assisting during injuries and guiding rehabilitation afterward, athletic trainers help keep players healthy throughout every stage of a season. Working closely with physicians, coaches, and performance specialists, they play a vital role behind the scenes, allowing athletes to compete safely while supporting long-term health and performance. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224 888-878-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. You know, I always would say when I would be doing A's games, I'd be in the booth doing pre and post, and I would be like, God, it's only April, it's May, and it just seems like such a long road. And then before you know it, it starts raining. We go back to standard time. It's getting dark at 5, and baseball season is over. So I bring that up because if you're a fan of the Oakland Ballers, they only have 4 home games left. Then they got one more week on the road in Marysville. But tonight is Too Short night, and that's Todd Shaw. He's a rapper, but no one calls him Todd Shaw. Too Short. He will be at Raimondi. And by the way, I saw Too Short last Friday night with Snoop Dogg, with E40, with DJ Quick, and with one other big guy. Snoop, E40, Ice Cube. That's who it was. Because every once in a while, we get free stuff. And Friday, I ran into my buddy Guru, and he's like, Rick, I got a bunch of these free tickets. Will you go with me? And I had my car with me. And I'm like, when? He goes, it's at the Shark Tank. It starts in 2 hours. I'm like, I'm in. So we went down to the Shark Tank, and my thanks to Goo for that. But anyway, Too Short, baby, at Raimondi and in West Oakland. And they're actually going to have a big tailgate, the 68s, on Sunday. They're going to have a final watch party on Friday, the 3rd, I think, at the Oakland Athletic Club. But the point is that Pioneer League is wrapping up, and then we only have one more month of the big stuff. And if you're a Giants fan, the end of the season can't come soon enough. So I want to talk about that a little bit on the other side. Horror. That was horrendous. I can't put it any other way. 1-800-878-2 and up. YouTube, TV, Twitch.tv. Come on back.
Caddy didn't come from a textbook. Before we started it, we were quoted $60,000 for a piece of software our business needed. So instead, we sat down with our own AI setup and built the whole thing ourselves for just a couple $100. That gap, $60,000 down to $200. That is the whole idea behind Caddy. And once we saw what was possible, we could not unsee it. We built it into a system, and now we build it for other businesses too. If you're using ChatGPT or Claude in a browser tab, you're touching maybe 10% of what these tools can really do. Caddy is the other 90%, wired into how your business actually runs. The repetitive work, handled. The details that slip through, caught. The hours you lose to busy work, back. We come in, we build, we train your team, you take the keys. No $300,000 executive hire. No year-long project, no learning curve. Just your own unfair advantage built around how you already work. Book a free strategy call at meetcaddy.com. That's meetcaddy.com. Caddy, your unfair advantage.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
Hour 2 of titillating sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Come on in and get heard. 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529. Dominic Jimenez on the other side of the glass. Would you like some more soccer trivia?
You know what, Rick? I would.
All right. So I'm going to call this, nowadays we're such a xenophobic country. Unfortunately, we hate foreigners. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to, I talked about the Champions League draw, and just for fun. Now, this is I usually don't do something when I know all the answers, and I know all these answers, but I think that you're going to know almost all the answers. And that is, I'm just going to read you the teams from the pots in the Champions League, not the other leagues, the Europa or the conference. And you just tell me what country they're from. You ready?
I'm ready.
Pot 1, Paris Saint-Germain.
France.
Bayern Munich.
Germany.
Real Madrid.
Spain.
Liverpool.
England.
Inter.
Italy.
Man City.
Sorry, hang on, Rick. Give me 1 second. Let me get headphones because this is going to be a lot of back and forth. I don't want to miss one.
I don't want to miss one. I don't want to blah, blah, blah.
Okay, now I can just leave my microphone on and not have to turn it on and off to hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Man City.
England.
Arsenal.
England.
Barcelona.
Spain.
Atleti.
Is that Atletico?
Atletico
Spain.
Madrid. Yeah. All right. So far, pretty easy. Now, pot 1 are the top seeds.
Yes.
Okay. Pot 2, Borussia Dortmund.
Germany.
Roma.
Italy.
Sporting.
It's Lisbon, so Portugal.
Aston Villa.
England.
Porto.
Also Portugal.
Man United.
England.
Club Bruges.
Bruges. Is that Germany?
No.
No, Bruges. I want to say Belgium, but I don't think it is.
It is Belgium.
It is Belgium.
Yes.
Okay.
French word. So, yes, it's a country that speaks France. At least they do in Wallonia. Club Bruges. All right, so you missed one. Real Betis.
Spain.
PSV Eindhoven.
That is the Netherlands.
Very good. So far, you got all but one. Pot 3, Feyenoord.
Norway?
No, that's in Rotterdam. That's yeah. Lille.
That's French.
Yes. Bodo Glimt.
That's Norway.
Yes. Napoli.
Italian.
Leipzig.
German.
Villarreal.
Spanish.
Fenerbahce.
Turkish.
Yep. Shakhtar.
Ukraine.
Yes. Shakhtar Donetsk. And Galatasaray.
Also Turkey.
All right. Pot 4. Slavia Prague.
Oh my gosh, why am I completely glitching where Prague is?
It's the capital of...
Yeah, I know.
Man, you're stupid.
Yeah, no, I'm completely... It's not Belgium. Oh my God! Just
Brussels.
tell me. Yeah, just tell
It's
me.
Czech
I'm
Republic.
stupid.
Czech Republic. Okay, so that's 2.
Jeez.
Slavan Bratislava.
Oof. Russia.
Slovakia. It's the capital of Slovakia.
Okay.
You don't like the Czechs or the Slovaks. VfB Stuttgart.
Okay, that's German.
Yes. AEK Athens.
Greece.
LASK. LASK. They are the champions of this country. And they just had an amazing game against Celtic. They lost 3-0 in Glasgow. They went back to LASK.
Scored a bunch.
They were down 4-0, and then they scored 5.
I don't remember where they're from. Sweden?
Austria.
Como. Italy.
Yes, and it's amazing what Cesc Fabregas has done with that team. That's just an idyllic paradise setting, and they actually have a good team. Lens.
French.
Yes, but like lens. Viking, or we call it Viking.
Is that also Norway?
Yes, Viking Stavanger. And this was one. There was one. I had to look it up. Sabah. Sabah.
No, Morocco wouldn't count.
They came through qualifying, and I had never heard of them before.
Oh, man. I've never heard of them either. Are they also French? Thinking like Monaco?
They're the champions of Azerbaijan.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know they technically qualified for being part of Europe, but okay.
Crazy stuff, huh? All right. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
1-800-878-PLAY. Feel free to get in and get heard wherever you might happen to be listening. But this is one of the reasons why soccer rules. It absolutely rules, because this is you just think about the intrigue. And I remember over the years watching Tottenham play in Europe, and they would play teams like Nicosia. Where's that? That's a Cypriot team. Then they would play FC Limassol. Where's Limassol? That's also on Cyprus. And that's kind of like my fantasy league. Like, that's how I learn about all these teams, is via the European Cup, which is I think outstanding to just to have a little bit of what do you call it? Just spice it up, baby. I call you baby. Speaking of CTE, I was just talking about how I forget things. There was a new study of NFL players who played in at least one game and died between the 5-year span of 2016 to 2021. And the ones that had donated their brains to BU, it's called the Unite Brain Bank of Boston University, it said 1/4 had CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. And Dr. Daniel Daneshvar of Mass General Brigham said, "We've known that this disease process can be caused by, in part, repeated traumatic brain injury, but we didn't know how common it was." So they tested brains of 235 guys, 878 players who died from 2016 to 2021. That doesn't mean that's when they played. It's when they died. They found a disease in, as I mentioned, 215 of them. So I think it's about 25% estimate. It also got into the British Medical Journal as well. And apparently the Players Union is going to be holding calls this week. Dr. Daneshvar said many of the symptoms associated with CTE are treatable with the right care. And while we don't have a cure yet, we have seen improvements in players who receive care from doctors specializing in neurodegenerative disease who know how to treat athletes. No one should walk away from it. Great. So there's a big difference between having your bell rung and then having something that qualifies as a disease. That is another thing as well. But it's kind of like we all knew what we were doing. That's why I think it's dumb when people. It's like when people sue the cigarette companies. How does not smoking, literally smoke, drawing it deep into your lungs, knowing that nicotine is a poison that'll get you not high, but I'll give you a buzz. Why do you think that that was good for you, right? And the whole time I played, I started in 1979. The whole time I played, I knew it was dangerous as all hell. So, yeah. Anyway, those are the new findings out of Chestnut Hill. Oh, wait, that's Boston College. Out of BU. Come on back.
Deviants in the street. Obscenity, I can't repeat. Decadence and promiscuity. The world's the den of iniquity. Vulgarity is overused. Debauchery leaves me unamused. So if you really want to be in the groove, be like me and be a prude. It's so boring to be lewd. I'm a prude.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you. Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Everyone likes a success story. All In Lid Company was started by two young entrepreneurs who wanted to build a premium hat brand around quality products and an inspiring mindset. That mindset, All In Lid, isn't about what you wear, it's about how you think. Believe in yourself. This brand was created to inspire people to go all in on themselves, to chase the goals that matter to them, to bet on their vision, their work ethic, and their belief, even when the outcome feels uncertain. Founded at Florida State University in Tallahassee, the message quickly resonated with students who believed in the mentality behind it. Today, All In Lid represents more than premium headwear. It represents commitment, confidence, and ownership, a reminder to stop playing small and show up fuller for your goals. Their mission is simple: to inspire as many people as possible to go all in on themselves and their next chapter. AllInLid.com.
To me, it's like a mountain, a vast bowl of pus.
时间不会瞬间改变天空的颜色，别让我在黑夜看不清方向。记忆中的每幅画面不再是绿色，希望中会布满每一个角落，希望中会布满每一个角落。
Who cares about anything else when you've got Rick Tittle on the radio?
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Coming up in the next segment, We'll have an author, King of the Britons, come on in and get heard wherever you might happen to be listening. All right, so actually saw a list of who's getting what when it comes to cash for NIL and football. And the highest paid guy going into next season is going to be the Miami quarterback, Darian Mensah. He has a deal that could go up to $10 million. It is a base of $6.5 million with incentives. Now, if you don't know the name Darian Mensah, he was not sitting behind Carson Beck, who of course transferred in from Georgia and took them almost to a national championship. But Darian Mensah was fantastic at Duke, and so he's cashing in. And why wouldn't he? You might remember Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, who was going to be, some people thought, the first quarterback taken even before Mendoza. He decided to go back to Eugene for $5 million. The Ole Miss transfer, Trinidad Chambliss, got $5 million. Sam Levitt, who drove me crazy at Arizona State, but does have some talent, he transferred to LSU for $4.5 million. Speaking of Mendoza, there was an opening in Indiana. They got the transfer in Josh Hoover, also $4.5 million. Damon Williams at Washington was going to leave. He decided to stay for $4 million. And next highest would be Oklahoma State's Drew Metzemaker. He makes $3.5 million. So the thing about Mensah was he originally was with the Green Wave of Tulane. And right around Thanksgiving of 2024, he entered into a 2-year deal with Duke for $8 million. And at the time, that was the most lucrative deal in the NIL era. And that was supposed to keep him with Duke through this upcoming season. And Mensah then threw for basically 4,000 yards and 34 touchdowns with 6 picks. He led the Blue Devils to an ACC championship. Remember, Cal put them in that game through the back door. But then he said in December, I'm returning to Duke. And Duke said, yeah, you are. You're under contract. And then the last day of the transfer portal, he goes, nah, I'm going to the Canes. And so Duke sued him. And a judge denied the school's request for a temporary restraining order that would have blocked him. And so Duke, obviously, the lawsuit is you're violating your contract because you're trying to go to a different team. And also, he wasn't supposed to say how much he was making, and he did. So the two sides, they reached an undisclosed settlement. And who knows what Miami had to pay Duke, because that's what happened. And let's face it, do you want to be in court all year with a guy who desperately doesn't want to play for your team? No, you don't. You don't want to be in court with a guy who desperately doesn't want to play for your team. But you also just can't let him walk away. So Miami shelled out some big cash, and he is committed to Miami. And by the way, he has 2 years of eligibility remaining. And this is just a pattern for Mario Cristobal since he left Oregon for Coral Gables, because he got Cam Ward to come in on his third school. Then he got Carson Beck to come in, and now he got Mensah to come in. This is just the way it goes now. So Mensah also talked his favorite receiver at Duke, Cooper Barcate, to join him in Miami. And this is already an offense that has Mark Fletcher back. You might remember Malachi Toney, who was fantastic last year. And now this financial commitment that really puts pressure on Mensah. I think he's going to be fine, to tell you the truth. So it's a lot of cash. There's no doubt. And, you know, the NIL money that's going on out there, I just try to think what I would do if I was that age. If I was that age and I had that type of money, I think what I would do is, well, obviously I would splurge on my like buddies, but then I would realize that's why I think you have to, if you win the lottery, by the way, since you're going to, if you win the lottery, you have to not, you either have to give people cash, like just a fat, here's 50 grand and don't bother me again. And it's like, what do you mean don't bother you again? Or like, here's an F-150 with all the bells and whistles and don't bother me again. What do you mean don't bother me? Like it would never end, right? All right. One other thing I want to get into, this whole weird thing with the Padres new owners. I say weird. They're not weird people. They're just weird as far as the stodgy traditional businessman ownership with that couple. And I don't know. They look like they're going to have a lot of fun. I hope they get out of the way and let, baseball people do their thing. But then again, maybe they'll hate AJ Preller. I don't know. But that whole thing with Walter and now Jeannie Buss, like suing her brothers, and then the Dodgers say, we're not for sale. Well, Stephen Jones chimed in today. Jerry Jones' son, who runs the Cowboys, with his dad. And he was talking about the Lakers' $12.5 billion sale. And this is all this guy, Mark Walter. He had him for 2 years, and now he's making a $2.5 billion profit, selling to Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner, who tried to buy the World Cup. And the question was, well, the Lakers are the most storied franchise in the NBA, and the Cowboys are in football. Could that happen to them? Well, Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in 1989 for $140 million. And his kids, Steven, Charlotte, Jerry Jones Jr., they all have very high-ranking positions on the front office. But in a report by The Athletic's Zach Kiefer, he stressed, did Steven, that there's no way they're going to sell. Stephen Jones said, quote, we certainly don't want to think about that. We don't want it to be that way. By the way, his official title, COO, Co-Executive Vice President, Director of Player Personnel, 3 jobs, 3 hats. Charlotte is Co-Executive Vice President and Chief Brand Officer. Jerry Jr. is Co-Executive Vice President and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer. You can say a lot of bad things about Jerry Jones, but apparently he seems like a pretty good dad. I'll throw that out. I could be wrong. He seems like it. So Kiefer said that all 3, when Jerry dies, if he dies before the other 3, that they each own a third. But that Steven will have the Cowboys by 2 cents more than the other 2. Once again, 2 pennies. And apparently that's enough to give him majority ownership, and that it will be his team to make the decisions. Now, Steven has been making decisions for decades, and you would like to think that whatever they have going on, they probably trust him. I mean, they do have 5 championships, not all, of course, not all under the ownership. They had a few with Roger Staubach in the previous ownership, but they have not won the Super Bowl for 30 years. They have not even been to a Super Bowl for 30 years. And so I think it's funny that they think this really could be the year. When has it never been the year? Right? When has it not been? Now, Troy Aikman was asked by Zach Kiefer, what do you think about Steven taking over? He goes, I'm not pushing Jerry out by any means, but when that day comes, it's going to feel a lot different. Steven's going to chart a different path. He's got a little bit more mother effer in him. Darren Woodson said, this team keeps making emotional decisions. They keep guys like Jerry Jones. I don't think that this leash will be as long with Steven. In other words, he has his favorites that stick around. Said Steven does not have the ego his father has, and that will serve him well. Do you remember Jerry Jones was walking to the podium to draft Johnny Manziel, And the story is Steven pulled the card away and said no. Zach Martin, who was all pro at guard every year he was in the league out of Notre Dame. But a guard in the first round, how boring is that? When you can get Johnny Football, busted play, all the way to a Heisman Trophy. He's like, yeah, Johnny Football sucks. John Gruden signed off on him, though. All right, when we come back, we'll talk Seahawks. Come on back on Sports Byline.
Are you moving to another state? We can make it easy for you. We are Movers USA. We're experts in getting your valuable possessions of your home from point A to point B anywhere in the United States. Now's the time to get a fresh start in a new city. Get it done right with Movers USA. We'll take care of your possessions just like our own. We'll take all the headaches off your mind, pack everything for you, and bring them safe and secure and put in the right place in your new home. If you're moving across state lines, call us right now for a 100% free quote. Ask your representative how you can qualify for a special discount with today's call. If you're moving anywhere in the U.S., we can get you there. Quick! Call now for details. 800-631-3086. 800-631-3086. 800-631-3086. That's 800-631-3086.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America, premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Teams have 4 attempts to move the ball 10 yards. So if you see a graphic on your screen that says 1st and 10, that means it's the team's first attempt to get 10 yards.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, that's elaborate. Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. There's a brand new book coming out very soon, September 1st, from Triumph Books. It's about the Seahawks. It's called 12 as 1. Mike Macdonald, the Seattle Seahawks, and the making of a Super Bowl champion. And the author of that book is nice enough to join us right now. It is Michael-Shawn Dugar. And Michael-Shawn, welcome to the show. And I was at Radio Row at Super Bowl 60 out here in San Francisco, and it feels like yesterday. How fast is it to take that story and turn it around and get it published? You must have been working 24 hours a day this summer.
Yeah, well, not even in the first off, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Secondly, yeah, not even the summer. Triumph reached out to me the day after the parade and said, "Hey, you want to write another book?" Because I had done one on the Legion of Boom era. And I said, "Yeah, it's great. I'm taking some paternity leave this summer because I just had a son. I can knock it out then." They're like, "Well, no, we need it like before the draft." I was like, "Oh, like the NFL draft, like in April." So I had about 9 weeks to turn in about 80,000 words or something. I think it came out to maybe a little bit more. So yeah, the months of February, March, and April are a little bit of a blur. So I hope no one ever asks me about anything other than the book from that stretch of 2026 because I got nothing for them.
That's like doing 100 term papers with a baby crying. That's not easy.
Yeah, and some diaper changes mixed in. Yeah, a lot of Miss Rachel on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, but I got it done.
All right, 12 as 1, and we know that they call it 12. And by the way, I think it's over. Maybe you can confirm this. I know when they wanted the 12th man and the flag, they had to pay rent to A&M. Was that right?
Yeah, so to summarize the dispute, basically how they solved it was the Seahawks fans are the 12s, like numeral 1, numeral 2 with an S. The Texas A&M maintains the 12th man. So you got to get that correct. You see some players when they get drafted sometimes make that mistake, or something like that, or free agent signees. But the distinction is important because lawyers got involved. Anytime lawyers get involved, you got to make sure you get it right. So yeah, basically the Seahawks are the 12s, and then the Texas A&M with some lawyers involved kept 12th man.
All right, so the biggest thing going into last season, and I'll raise my hand, I thought that it was dumb for them to commit to Sam Darnold, who had 14 great games with the Vikings, and when push came to shove, he had 2 bad games. He was a turnover machine with the Jets. With the Niners, he looked like an okay backup, but that's all he was. He was an okay backup. Why would they commit to a guy like that? And boy, were we all wrong. What about the Darnold story?
Yeah, the Darnold story is probably like everyone's favorite, I would guess, in terms of like a sports story arc. We love the lovable underdog, and particularly we love the guy who we saw get knocked down at some point. For some reason, I just don't think American sports fans cling that much to the juggernaut or the person who was like the number 1 high school prospect and the number 1 college prospect and number 1 pick. Like a Jadeveon Clowney story, for instance. He hits all those boxes. Now, we love the guy who was like, okay, we thought you were good, then you stink, or for whatever reason, or a tragedy happens. We love a tragedy. And then you rise from the ashes, like a phoenix. And that's Sam. I think his story connects with people because it can apply to their own life. Everyone has that pivot point in their own life. You dropped out of school, or you lost this job, or you got into it with a spouse or family members, or fell out with a friend, or whatever. You just have that pivot point, and you rise from it. Ideally, you rise from it if you're the hero in your own story. And Sam fits that. And he plays quarterback, so that helps. If he was nose tackle, I don't know if we'd care as much. But yeah, I just think Sam is one of those people who just his faith never wavered, and I think that's something that also kind of tugs at the human heartstrings too. Sam always believed he could do what he's doing now, which is play quarterback at a really high level. And some things are just in him. You mentioned turnover prone. He led the league in turnovers this year, right? He's just also really good at throwing the football to his team, so it kind of balances out, which he wasn't as good at with the Jets and those final few games with the Vikings that you alluded to. But yeah, I was right there with you. I didn't believe into the Sam thing until about week 16 last year when they beat the Rams on Thursday Night Football. But in reporting out this book, I just learned how the mental part of the game and how valuable it is, for Sam to flop not only in a big market like New York, like that's part of his story too, but to come somewhere Seattle that's a little bit more low key for the redemption arc. I think those are unique factors to Sam as well. If he had flamed out in Jacksonville and then tried to come to New York to revive it, I think it hit a little different. But going from a big market to a more medium-sized one to kind of get his career right with a team full of underdogs like him, or guys who are their underdogs in their own story. I think that was part of why the team had so much success.
It's almost forgotten now, but we were just looking earlier at some of the discipline of taunting and how they're going to try to accumulate these taunting fouls. And in that NFC title game against the Rams, what was it? Rick, what's his name, had the taunting on a 4th down, and then the Rams got the ball back and scored on the next play. If the Seahawks hadn't won, I guess he would have had to have never gone back to Seattle the rest of his life, right?
Yeah, Reek. Reek's with Philly now, so he wasn't here long after.
He's
that.
already
But,
gone.
Yeah, he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles now. Reek Willen does. Yeah, that was a big turning point in the game. That really just made the game closer than it was probably going to be. The Seahawks were leading at the time by double digits, I believe. They were going to get the ball back, and then Puka scores on the very next play instead of the Rams punching it back to the Seahawks. That just kind of kept it interesting. Which, if you're Fox, you're like, that's great. You need people to not turn off this thing. Because, truth be told, Seahawks games last year were not that entertaining because they were beating the hell out of a lot of people, Super Bowl included, right? In their first playoff game, they won 41-6, another snooze fest. So I think Rico might have been just quietly doing Fox a favor, right? Keeping the viewers entertained to the end, because that was not the case for a lot of Seahawks games last year.
And you think coming out of the era of Legion of Boom, and they move up in the second round very early on day 2, and they take Nick Immanwori, and they're like, we think this guy could be the next Cam Chancellor. He's 6'3", 220. He runs like a 4.4. And then he might even be better. I mean, what the hell? They really hit the jackpot on that one.
Yeah, I think Nick, much like Cam Chancellor when he was taken in the 5th round of the 2010 draft, makes the defense work because of the versatility that he has. Like you said, Nick is huge. He's about the same size as DK Metcalf, right? But then he has the wiggle to play safety, and he's violent. Just like DK is too. But like, imagine that's why that's the comp I like to use. Imagine if DK played safety. And it's like, oh my God, that's pretty scary. And so Nick is like that, and Cam Chancellor was pretty similar. Cam was about 6'3", 229-ish, which is, there's linebackers who weigh that much right now and aren't even that tall, and Cam was back there playing safety. So the way, without getting too schemy, just the way that those guys unlocked different stuff that their defensive coordinators could do, it was just like a little weapon, a Swiss Army knife, of which you could deploy, and it's just hard to deal with. That's why Seahawks fans were so scared when Nick rolled his ankle at Super Bowl practice that week. It was like, oh my God, our scariest weapon might be off the field, and obviously Nick was fine. But that's why Seahawks fans were so worried, because they knew just how important Nick was, and they didn't have to spend a 1st-round pick to get him.
Now, speaking of weapons, with JSN, one of the most insane seasons of all time, nearly 2,000 receiving yards, like 120 catches, and now the highest paid receiver of all time, a cover of Madden, and he's still like, 24? I mean, obviously that sure helped Sam Darnold. It would help anybody. But what is the Jackson Smith and Jigba? I mean, he's raised the bar so high now. If like he doesn't have 100 catches, everybody would be like, what happened?
Yeah, Jax, his story is one of those that people are generally not entertained by as much, because he falls into that bucket I just mentioned, where his excellence has been sustained. He hasn't had the valley in his story. It's kind of all peaks. Jax was kind of under recruited a little bit, but he was still like, I think he's like 2nd all time in like single season receiving yards or something like that in Texas Preps history. Now think about that. That's Texas. I believe he played at the highest level as well, or one of the highest levels out there. He's one of the best receivers ever in Texas. Goes to Ohio State, even though he's under recruited. Now he's responsible for the best single season in Ohio State's history, which I think he had like 1,600 yards or something like that. He's the best Rose Bowl performance ever, like 300 yards. And then he comes into the NFL and then, makes a couple of Pro Bowls and has one of the best receiving seasons in Seahawks history and NFL history. So he's just kind of been doing this. So he has a standard of excellence that has never waned. I think that's what's special about Jackson, why they made him the highest paid receiver ever, because everywhere he's gone, he's just been historically great. High school, college, and now the pros. He's already one of the best Seahawks ever. So, the standard is set. It's 100 catches, 7-8 touchdowns a year, at least like 1,100 yards a year, like that. But he's capable of that, and he's been capable of that every step of his football career.
Last question for you. I got to see Mike McDonald up at Edgewood at the Tahoe golf tournament, and a month before we did some press, and he seems like a very serious guy. Like every article of clothing was Seahawk clothing, and then up close, I was surprised how little he was, but I think he was as wide as he was little. He had shoulder pads. He didn't seem like he was a guy that was there to joke around. And then, of course, on Hard Knocks, they show him getting pissed at Derek Hall and screaming at him. But look, the guy gets the job done. Like, what is it like on a daily basis dealing with him? Because I'm not saying he's a jerk, but I'm just saying, like, he's all business, it seems like to me.
Yeah, he's not the greatest jokester in the world, though he did play a joke on me the first time we met. I kind of opened the book with that just in the first few pages. But he is a funny guy. And you can see that come across in Hard Knocks too. But I think where Mike is his superpower is just he leads with authenticity. You know, one of the first one-on-one conversations we ever had, he mentioned that one of his biggest fears was being considered a phony. You know, like his players viewing him as a fraud. And I think that kind of powers him. So it empowers him in ways that you see, particularly on Hard Knocks, and that I've seen for the last couple seasons. Is he's just real. If he screws up, he says he screws up. If he kicked ass, he defers the credit, you know, for one, because he's smart. But then two, he says, yeah, man, that was a kick-ass play that we had. And, you know, he loves on his guys. He gets on them when they screw up as well. And it's just this culture of authenticity, I think, that players really appreciate. You know, it's kind of hard to get to the kids these days to connect to them. You know, Mike's in his late 30s, so maybe it's a little easier than some other coaches, but it's hard. These guys got all these distractions. They got the internet in their pocket. You know, they're into all these different music that the coaches don't listen to and whatever else on YouTube and these streamers. So how do you connect with them? Well, Mike's figured out it's not that hard. Be you. Be you, and either they'll connect with you or they won't. You know, hopefully they do. And Mike figured that out. So whether you're yelling at them for messing up or getting too close to the quarterback, or you're saying, hey, you know, I screwed up this play call, that's my bad, even though you got beat for a touchdown. And I think that's Mike's secret sauce and why players love him so much and why his teams have already had a bunch of success.
Book's called 12 is One. Mike McDonald, the Seattle Seahawks in the making of a Super Bowl champion, available September 1st from Triumph Books. And now, cliffhanger, we have to buy it and see what this joke the coach played on our guest and author, Michael-Shawn Dugar. Michael-Shawn, congratulations on the book, man. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Let's take a break. Come on back on Byline.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solutions Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. That's 800-796-1468.
I honestly just got the chills as you described it again for me.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thank you for that. Hour 3 coming up. Owen Wilson, scheduled to appear at 11:50 Pacific time. Hopefully we'll get him for those 10 minutes. Those press junkets, sometimes they run on because other mean people, they go past their allotted time. Sometimes people jump in and go, wrap it up. Speaking of jokes played on coaches, Vern Glenn, my buddy, a great guy, he told me one time when Frank Robinson was manager of the Giants, Vern was brand new in town, and he went in spring training and goes, "Hey, coach." He's like, "What? Coach?" He goes, "This ain't football. I'm the manager." "Oh, sorry, coach." He's like, "Damn it." He kept calling him coach, and Frank Robinson was like, "Stop calling me coach. I'm the manager." And so the next day, he said he went into his office and he was kind of scared. Frank Robinson was intimidating. First man to be MVP in both leagues, by the way. Anyway, Orioles and Reds. He said he walked into Frank Robinson's office and he wanted to make a good impression. He immediately hit the cup of coffee and spilled it onto Frank Robinson's lap. And he's like, "You got to be kidding me." He's like, "I'm so sorry, coach. I mean, manager." And then the next day, Frank Robinson frowned at him and he goes, "Come here for a second." And Vern walked over and he goes, "I just want to let you know, Vern, that you're okay in my book." And he was like, phew. But sometimes it can be hard, man. All right. I'm Rick Tittle. We got another hour. Come on, bud.
This is an all sports news sports update.
I'm Brendan Cafferty. When fans think about sports sponsorship, they often notice company logos on uniforms, stadium signs, or television broadcasts. But today's sponsorships have evolved into strategic partnerships that help support athletes, teams, leagues, and sporting events while connecting businesses with millions of passionate fans around the world. For sports organizations, sponsorship revenue helps fund everything from player development and community outreach to facility improvements and event operations. These partnerships can provide financial stability while allowing teams and leagues to invest in better experiences for athletes and fans alike. Businesses have also changed the way they approach sponsorship. Instead of simply placing a logo where people can see it, companies increasingly work with sports organizations to create interactive experiences, digital content, community programs, and fan engagement initiatives. The goal is to build lasting relationships with consumers rather than simply increase brand recognition. Athletes are also becoming an important part of these partnerships. Many work with companies on advertising campaigns, charitable initiatives, educational programs, and community events that extend well beyond competition. These collaborations allow athletes to strengthen their public profiles while helping sponsors communicate authentic stories that resonate with fans. Successful sponsorships depend on more than just financial investment. Organizations look for partners that share similar values, understand their audience, and are committed to building long-term relationships. When those goals align, sponsorship becomes more than just a marketing agreement. It becomes an important part of growing the sport itself. As the sports industry continues expanding across traditional media, streaming platforms, and digital channels, sponsorship is expected to remain one of the most valuable resources supporting innovation, fan engagement, and the future growth of athletics. In other sports, athletic trainers are among the most important professionals in sports, even though fans rarely see their work. From preparing athletes before competition to assisting during injuries and guiding rehabilitation afterward, athletic trainers help keep players healthy throughout every stage of a season. Working closely with physicians, coaches, and performance specialists, they play a vital role behind the scenes, allowing athletes to compete safely while supporting long-term health and performance. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. A lot of transfers going down here, getting closer to the end of the transfer window here. And Robert Sanchez, the number one goalie for Chelsea, is no longer the number one goalie for Chelsea because they just signed Emi Martinez from Aston Villa, and of course World Cup winner, and also very, very weird guy. Tottenham has finally gotten Omar Marmoush over the line. Savino, which means little Savio. He just wants to be known as Savio now. Savio was absolutely fantastic against Charlton Athletic yesterday in the Carabao Cup with a couple of goals. One turned out to be an assist, but complete live wire. Bradley Barcola, the goal. He is now a Liverpool player, and he's a fantastic winger for France and formerly of PSG. There's just a lot of movement going on, and as I said, once this window shuts, then it won't open again until January. So you got to get in, and you got to make it happen. Nicholas Jackson is heading to Aston Villa because Ollie Watkins is going to the Saudi League. Why he would want to go to the Saudi League? That's very bizarre, but he's going to make more money. I guess that's it. But yeah, very happy to see Marmoush finally get pushed over the line as a Tottenham fan. 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call. 1-800-878-7529. J.D. Sharp scheduled to appear. Otherwise, open lines. And I guess we'll be going early to the break so that we can get in scheduled to appear Owen Wilson and others involved with the film Runner. That'll be at 11:50 Pacific time. 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call. I'm on the TuneIn app, the iHeartRadio app, the Stitcher app, looking directly into the webcam for YouTube and Twitch.tv as well. So hot in my reading glasses. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Byline.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you.
Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
Hear that overflow? That's not just rain. That's water pouring straight into your home's foundation. Clogged, broken, or missing gutters and downspouts can cause costly damage fast. We're talking foundation cracks, flooded basements, rotting wood, even mold. Most homeowners don't realize the damage until it's too late. We install, repair, and replace full-service gutter and downspout systems built to move water away from your home where it belongs. Call right now for a free gutter inspection. We'll show you exactly what's wrong and exactly how to fix it before it turns into a major repair bill. Call the Gutter Helpline now. Protect your home, protect your foundation. Fix your gutters before they fail. Here's the number.
800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. That's 800-884-1561.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, thanks so much, and welcome back to the show. We have no JD, but we have you. That's right, you, my loyal listener. Rick, first time, long time. I used to say whenever somebody would say whatever, if I was on Extra Sports 860 or 95.7 The Game or here, and someone goes, first time, long time, and I'm like, first time podiatrist, long time ventriloquist. They're like, what? Then they would be sorry they called. 1-800-878-PLAY. John Harbaugh is the new coach of the New York Giants, and I'm sure that's probably really cool for a Giants fan to look over there and see it's not like Richie Kotite or some buffoon. It's like, wow, we have an actual real NFL coach now. That's got to be very cool. That doesn't mean you're going to win, but it's just probably nice to know that there's an adult in the room. And I bring it up because Harbaugh had to warn Cam Skattebo to stop fighting in camp. Now, Skattebo is a fan favorite. He just is nuts, and unfortunately, he did his knee. He was an amazing player at Sacramento State, and that's a nothing program nationally, no offense. So he went to Arizona State and got to the semifinals of the playoffs and was basically a one-man team. He doesn't look like much. Looks like a little fire hydrant, but man, is he a fantastic football player. And he loves the limelight. And New York is a perfect fit for him. And according to the New York Post, Skattebo started a fight during training camp yesterday. And he made a catch and he slid so he would avoid making contact to Javon Holland and Greg Newsome, some DBs, and then they jumped on him, and then Skattebo started the fight, and Harbaugh said he got a 15-yard penalty at the end of practice. Did you see that? Yeah, it's infectious. It can be infectious the other way, an infectious disease type of thing. We want it to be in a positive way. And you might say, how do you get a how do you get a flag in camp? Oh, they have refs in camp. They're not all NFL refs. I used to go to Napa at Raider camp. They had real refs in there blowing the whistle, just getting guys used to it. And so like Scadaboo hasn't said anything, but his teammate Jermaine Illuminor, former Raider, came to his defense. He said that's a BS narrative that he started the fight. But I mean, Scadaboo's health is going to be a factor for the Giants. And the Giants' rushing attack was top 5 last season. Scadaboo playing a significant role. He had 410 yards rushing and 24 catches and 7 touchdowns before he got hurt. And it was a pretty serious energy. And as I said, he went to that Fanatics Festival, whatever the hell that thing was, in July and did a backflip. But he and Jackson Dart, those were the 2 rooks. They Jackson Dart, the handsome quarterback, and Scadaboo, the little scruffy dude. And just to give you a little background on Scadaboo, and look, you can't, Billy Ray Valentine, Trading Places, you can't just say because someone's from a certain area that they're going to be a certain way. But I'm going to just give you my own little thumbnail on Rio Linda. Rio Linda, the pretty river. Rio Linda is a suburb of Sacramento. And my older brother lives up there, and his kids, my nephew and niece, went to Rio Linda High School with the Scadaboo brothers. There's more than one. And Rio Linda is not Paris, France. It's below middle class. Sometimes you can say, well, it's just a working class neighborhood. I think it's even below that. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you the facts. Nobody can mow their lawn. What there is, everything's dead. Upside down cars on the front lawn. A lot of shady characters. People walking around in Crocs. And what a disparaging thing to say. But the thing about Rio Linda that freaked me out the most was you got these guys. I remember a couple times I'd drop him off at his apartment, my brother, and you get these guys. Like, there'd be a guy who looked like he was about 70 years old on a BMX bike. And I go, what's up with that 70-year-old on a kid's bike? And my brother's like, first of all, that guy's 29. He's just a tweaker. But those are the Night Riders. I go, the Night Riders? What is this, Mad Max? I go, what's a Night Rider? He goes, they wander around Rio Linda on these bikes and they steal everything that's not bolted down. And I was like, oh, that's nice. He probably won't want me telling this, but he never listens to this show. This will be the one day he tunes in. Does he hate you, Rick? No, he has better things to do. Listen to this tripe. But they have a laundry room at their apartment complex. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm going to say it anyway. I don't care. Nobody knows him. Rick, I looked him up. And my nephew, who was probably 25 at the time, all his clothes were stolen out of the washer. All his clothes. He couldn't even get them to the dryer. And they're all wet. Can you imagine stealing somebody's wet clothes that you don't even know if it's going to fit you? And I go, so what do you have at the house? He goes, I go, you got some sweats? He goes, I just have underpants. And so I went on Amazon. I just ordered him a bunch of cheap jeans and cheap sweats. I'm like, they'll be here tomorrow. The poor guy. But that's Rio Linda, man. It's just, it's a hard scrabble, dirty ass, poor place. It is a very poor place. So you think about a guy like Cam Scadaboo coming out of that environment where there's night riders and where you see people, stealing wet laundry. And then now all of a sudden you're in New York City and you're a millionaire. Not a crazy well, I shouldn't say millionaire, but he's got a nice chunk of change. 100,000-aire. Can you look up Cam Scadaboo rookie contract for me? Because I assume he's a millionaire, but then again, he wasn't. he might be a minimum wage guy. He might be like on $400K a year. And I guess that is a big difference. What do you got, Dom?
He signed a 4-year, $5.27 million contract with a $1 million signing bonus.
Thank you. All right, so my first reaction was right. So not crazy money, not Steph Curry money, but he's still a millionaire, and he's in New York City. I love New York City. I have plans to attend Army-Navy Radio Row and the game in New York City. Well, the game's in New Jersey in December. I love going to New York. I haven't been there since 2022. And so looking forward to going back. But can you imagine being from that area of the country? And you look at his mom and dad. His mom and dad have more tats than Sinatra. Do they have tats? See, I don't know if they have tats. Someone just texted me saying, my brother's wife is from Rio Linda. I went to her mom's house, and that neighborhood is everything you described. 100%. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. And look, I don't come from Beverly Hills myself, but it's just people are trying to scrape by. They don't have cash. And so I'm not giving Cam any excuses, but I can just say, and plus he's a football player, I can kind of see it. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. Come on back and bye.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to Satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to Satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
You think this is a humorous occasion? You are mistaken.
Take the ride, there's a party on the dance, it ain't no job. It's line, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. It's slide, slippity slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a lakeside stank.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Just saw this breaking news. Not kidding. President Trump has officially changed the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America. John Mulaney has this bit about Trump being a cartoon rich guy. I'll have gold hair, and I'll have buildings with my name on them, and planes with my name on them, and I'll change them. Let's see. How do I get back at Canada? How can I hurt them? All right. By the way, we have some Hollywood types. Actor Rodrigo Santoro, director Scott Waugh of the new movie Runner, and also actor Owen Wilson. Scheduled to appear at 11:50 Pacific time. By the way, if you're bored or you just want to hang out, I'll be on KMBR with Derek Papa doing dirty work. That will be at 2 to 6 p.m. in NorCal. The blowtorch. Yes, no JD today. So I was taking a look at, we were talking about quarterbacks and who's getting NIL, and one of the guys I mentioned was Drew Metzamaker. And if you don't know the name, don't feel bad, because he just got to Oklahoma State for $3.5 million. And he's a pretty good story of perseverance. So Drew Metzamaker, up close and personal, let me introduce you. So he's from Austin. He went to Vandegrift High School in the Leander Independent School District. Leander is also a suburb of Austin. Anyway, when he was a junior, he played quarterback, but he was backup to a guy named Braden Buchanan, who ended up going to Baylor. And he only got to play in one game. So then when he was a senior, he again was a backup. The starter was a guy named Deuce Adams, who transferred over and then got a scholarship to play for Louisville. So Metzamaker said, well, I'll play DB. And he was an honorable mention safety. And he also was the punter. He was a very good punter. And he was a 0-star recruit. Why would you recruit someone who played quarterback for one game? And so he walked on at North Texas, the Mean Green, North Texas. And since that time, he has been the most prolific quarterback. He led the FBS in yards last year, 4,379. He led in yards per attempt, 9.5. 6'4", pocket, fearless style of play, will run downfield. And now in the latest mock draft, now, of course, we mock ourselves by mocking this early. Mock, yeah. Draft, yeah. He's supposed to be now the second quarterback taken after Arch Manning, Drew Metzamaker. And that's how he spells it, not Metzamaker, M-A-K-E-R, Metzamaker. And I love that story about not even being a starter in high school and walking on. I'm not saying the North Texas Mean Green is a podunk program, but it ain't no blue blood. North Texas is in Denton. Denton is the county seat of Denton County. It's sort of near Dallas-Fort Worth. The Metroplex, as they say. So just for fun, looking at a mock draft in August, Mike Renner put one out today on CBS Sports, and he's got Arch Manning number 1. And I can see why he would say that, but I think it's going to be Jeremiah Smith. We were talking to our guest, Michael-Shawn Dugar, his book 12 is 1 about JSN, who put out ridiculous numbers. Jeremiah Smith is the same guy. He might even be better. He might be the first wide receiver to be drafted number 1 overall. Dominic Jimenez, the last wide receiver to be drafted number 1 overall, was 30 years ago. Do you remember who it was? I'll give you a hint, out of USC.
Would that make it Keyshawn Johnson?
That makes it Keyshawn Johnson. Good knowledge. Yes. Keyshawn was in camp with a guy by the name of Wayne Corbett. And it just so happened that the Jets had their camp at Hofstra on Long Island. And Keyshawn, after a rookie year where the Jets were absolutely horrible, he wrote a book called Just Give Me the Damn Ball. And he talked about how Wayne Corbett he shouldn't even be in the NFL. They later ended up friends. Not friends, but with understanding. I mean, there was that one year the Jets were really good under Parcells. And they had those two guys were the best wide receiver combination in the league, believe it or not. But I digress. Arch Manning, I don't think Arch Manning's even going to be QB1 for 2 big reasons. Number 1, because I just don't think he's that excellent. I'm not saying he's not good. Number 2, I think he's going to go back for $10 million in his senior year. That's what I think he's going to do. Maybe not even in Austin, but I think he would. Now, people will say, look, he has way more physical gifts than Eli or Peyton. Because Eli and Peyton could not, never would run. Arch can run. Like his grandpa he's named after. He can actually run. And plus, the way he's improved has been so, all right, well, it's like supposed to be, putting that out there in the universe. He's way better, he's way better, he's way better, he's way better. I would love to see Arch do well. I have nothing against Arch. Remember, he was the guy when NCAA football game came out. Everybody gets a free game and $100 or whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't want to be in it. What? So Jeremiah Smith would then be number 2 overall. But, sometimes it's like Marvin Harrison Jr., it's like that guy out of Ohio State. How would you ever draft anyone else? And he hasn't set the NFL on fire. He's good. But would you put him in the top 5 of wide receivers? No. So just in the early mocks, just rounding out the top 10 from this article by Mike Renner, is he has Arch 1, Smith 2. Then he has Leonard Moore, the corner from Notre Dame, 3. And he was the best corner in football last year as a sophomore. So he's definitely going to be top 5 if he stays healthy. It could be a regression. Hopefully you don't peak too early. Dylan Stewart is going to be the edge rusher out of the South Carolina Gamecocks. They said that 6'5", 250, and he's the next Myles Garrett. Just go ahead and compare me to the best guy ever. The top tackle, Trevor Gooseby, or maybe he says Gooseby, probably Gooseby. Trevor Gooseby is OT1, and they said if he would have come out last year, he would have been OT1. But he's playing with a bone bruise. Uh-oh. The other edge rusher, a kid named Colin Simmons, also a Longhorn. He had 12 sacks last year, 59 pressures. Jordan Seaton, another big offensive tackle out of LSU. Last season in 314 snaps, he only allowed 7 quarterback pressures. But they say he's not very good on the run. Well, you have to be able to open up holes for your running backs. Another corner, Ashton Hampton, out of Clemson. Got great tape. And then 9 is he has Drew Metzemaker. As I said, the guy who led all of the FBS and everything last year. And then one more wide receiver, Cam Coleman, out of Texas. This is a guy who's transferring in from Auburn, 6'3". So you might say, where's Dante Moore? Well, he's got him at 11. And that's the thing to remember, because we always just assume there's going to be a run on quarterbacks. And then we have drafts where Geno Smith's the only first-round one, or, Pickett is the only one in the entire first round. You go, what happened to Trinidad Chambliss? The thing that's holding Trinidad Chambliss back, apparently, as he's going to have another year at Ole Miss, is he's 6 foot in his cleats, but he's wide. He's not a skinny guy. He's got a great arm. Trinidad Chambliss, I think, would probably sneak up into the first round. But as he goes through his top 50, those are the only quarterbacks that he has. Now, as we've seen just in this last one, like what happened to Lenoris Sellers? All the money he's getting with the Gamecocks. That could be a good day 3 pick as well. But I'm not going to worry about the draft. I just always think it's kind of cool to take a look super early and just see where we are right now. And right now it's Arch Manning, number 1 overall. Come on back.
Who's watching? Tell me who's watching? Who's watching me? I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Oh, when I come home at night, I don't.
Everyone likes a success story. All In Lid Company was started by 2 young entrepreneurs who wanted to build a premium hat brand around quality products and an inspiring mindset. That mindset? All In Lid isn't about what you wear, it's about how you think. Believe in yourself. This brand was created to inspire people to go all in on themselves, to chase the goals that matter to them, to bet on their vision, their work ethic, and their belief, even when the outcome feels uncertain. Founded at Florida State University in Tallahassee, the message quickly resonated with students who believed in the mentality behind it. Today, All In Lid represents more than premium headwear. It represents commitment, confidence, and ownership, a reminder to stop playing small and show up fuller for your goals. Their mission is simple: to inspire as many people as possible to go all in on themselves in their next chapter. AllInLid.com. Be sure to check it out. AllInLid.com.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
Quit drinking that haterade and bow down to Ricky T, y'all.
All right, thank you for that. We'll have a little bit of a shorter segment, and then hopefully we'll end up with Owen Wilson and his friends from the movie Runner in the next segment, y'all. You know, somebody was asking me about Live Golf and why it didn't get to where it was supposed to be, and it's really, you can just sum it up by nobody cares is what it is. And it was, but at one point, remember, it looked like the PGA was finally like, okay, we have to join forces. The money is too good. Because this was in January of 2020. Remember that time? Yeah. No lockdown just yet. But there's a group called the World Golf Group. And there were rumors, I think the Saudis are backing it. And they say, we want to make a premier league of golf. And so the PGA commissioner, Jay Monahan, not Moynihan, Monahan, said that if anybody joins this Premier League, you're out of the PGA. And so then a year later, the PGA unveiled this thing called the Player Impact Program, which rewards the top 10 needle-moving players with a $40 million bonus pool. It's like, well, where did that come from? Well, then in October of 2021, Live Golf officially announced Greg Norman, CEO. And so the PGA responds the next month, and they said, well, we're going to give way more money coming up. And then in February 2022, Phil Mickelson said, I'm in with Live. This is where it's at. And then in March, Live said, we're going to have 8 events a year, $255 million, and we're going to start in June in London. And so then in May, the PGA Tour denied release to players to play in the Live event. Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, Louis Oosthuizen. Those guys went in. And then Charles Schwartzel, he won Live Golf London. Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, they joined. I'll take the money. I'll take the money. And then in August of 2022, 11 Live Player Golf players filed an antitrust suit against the PGA Tour. And the PGA Tour said, we have this new thing called elevated events, which is even more money. But then the PGA Tour filed a lawsuit against the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund and its governor. And so there were some negotiations that went on. And this was when 3 summers ago, June 2023, the PGA Tour, the PIF, and announced what they called framework agreement to form a new entity and end litigation. So December 2023, they extended a deadline to join. John Rahm went to Live Golf. And then in January 2024, the PGA Tour announced a $3 billion investment deal with Strategic Sports Group, Strategery. And the deal will give players up to $1.5 billion in new commercial equity, which was called PGA Tour Enterprises. And so then they entered a delegation with Tiger, and they met with Live Official in Bahamas. They're having constructive talks, and we just thought the merger is happening. It already happened. They can't. Everybody's leaving. Everyone's taking the money. And so 2025 started, and Greg Norman is out as CEO of Live Golf. A guy named Scott O'Neill comes in. But he says, I've been brought in because I'm the media guy. I've just made a deal with Fox Sports. And so though Adam Scott, Jay Monahan, Tiger Woods, and then that governor I mentioned, Yasser Al-Murayan, they went to the White House with Trump to talk about how they could merge. But then last October, it showed that Live Golf lost $590 million in 2024. And at that point, they had lost $4 billion. And so that was when, remember in December, the PGA said, hey, if you want to come back, you got to do it now. And Brooks Koepka said, okay. It was called the Returning Member Program. It only applied to elite players. Scumbags couldn't come back. You're a scab unless you're good. Then you're the prodigal son. We love you. Get on back. So in April of this year, the PIF said, here's our new strategy. It's going to go till 2030. And but then right after that, they had an emergency meeting at Live Mexico. And then, of course, just this month, they said, we're out. We lost $5 billion and we're out. And so then Liv said, okay, well, we've secured a new investor for the upcoming season, and it's going to be amazing. It wasn't amazing. All right, let's take a break. We will come on back, and hopefully Owen Wilson on the other side.
Thinking about you for quite a while. You're on my mind.
Sometimes life changes and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solution Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. 800-796-1468. That's 800-796-1468.
And by the way, can I just say, Rick, that Rick Tittle is one of the great names of all time.
People going nowhere, taking for a ride. Love
be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
All right, thank you for that. And we hate saying yes to an interview at 11:50, but if that's all they have, we will take it. And they're running about 8 minutes late. Remember, I said these are usually like 5 minutes late. So I'm either going to get in like at 11:58, and then I'm going to interview them through the news. So I'm going to go past noon, or I'm going to sign off at noon and then record it, and then we'll have to air it tomorrow. So just letting everybody know. I've been letting you know all show that it might be up against it. Maybe I'll get one question in. Hey, how are things in Austin? Pretty good. Okay, bye. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY. Do you remember when Jaden Daniels talked about how much he was disrespected over the fact that his number 5 jersey was going to be worn by cornerback DJ Pickett? And so it was actually yesterday at Commander's practice. Daniels was asked why he filed the cease and desist. It's the first time. He said, nope, I posted a statement on Instagram and said everything I needed to say. So appreciate y'all. Thank you. So that's it. What did he say on Instagram 2 weeks ago? He said, quote, I have been locked in on training camp, and that's my number one focus. I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, and I'm proud of what my teammates and I accomplished there. Obviously, there are issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and my hope is that it will get done privately. My sole focus is on Commanders football. I realize the business of football is unique, and I trust all can be resolved. All can be resolved. I mean, he's still hanging on to it. I think what you do in that situation is like, oh man, they gave my number away. Oh man, that's messed up. Or like, oh dude, I thought you were going to retire it. And even then you're like, huh? But he still is not happy about it. He's like, no. All right, another thing I think is funny. I saw, because I read a lot of British newspapers and such and websites because I love English soccer, especially one team. Marmouche over the line today. Thank you, Spurs. But they sometimes, when it comes to American sports, they get the headlines wrong. Like, I was there when Toronto won the World Series, and it said the Canadian mighty lumberjack bats were too much for the Americans. And I'm like, there was one Canadian on that team, Garth Orge. There were 3 guys from Oakland on that team, Lloyd Mosby, Ricky Henderson, and Dave Stewart. But they thought that Toronto was Canadian dudes, and that the team they beat were I think it was the Braves, were American dudes. So on that headline, it says NFL fans demand to get it fixed. This is in the Mirror. Because Harrison Butker hit a 69-yard field goal, of course, in preseason, Chiefs over the Bucks, right? And it says American fans are fed up because that is the record. And they think anything that happens in preseason should be a record. First of all, what American has ever said that? I have talked to a lot of smart people and many dumb people too. And I have never heard anybody say what happens in preseason should be a record. I've talked to people who say what happens in the playoffs are a record, and I think they have a point, but I don't agree with it. But I get the point. No, those are playoff records. It's not fair to the people who didn't make the playoffs that these guys are accumulating this. And this is why we have very sacred playoff records. You know, look at what Jerry Rice has done. Look what Derek Jeter has done in the playoffs. This is what we do. Now, of course, baseball, you get so many more playoff records now because you have more games. There back then, the AL played the NL in the World Series, and that was it. So, but could you imagine somebody saying, this is outrageous? No, what we say is, first of all, I don't give a damn about the Chiefs because I hate the Chiefs. I'm not a Harrison Butker fan. But a Chiefs fan would say, oh, too bad it was in preseason. They're not saying, get it right, get it fixed. We want justice. So I've said this before because I brag sometimes. Rick, you brag every day. When I went to the Emmitt Smith Marriott Combine down at the Niners practice facility next to Levi's, I hit a 50-yard field goal. No one was rushing me. It was Joe Nedney was holding for me. The great Joe Nedney, San Jose State, Raiders and Niners. And it was beautiful weather. No snow, no wind, no rain, no thousands and millions of eyeballs on me on TV and in person. Well, should that count as a record? No, it shouldn't. But I do love how they, and it's kind of cute sometimes when they do try to cover these things. I remember taking a meeting at Transworld International, TWI, in 2002 and 2003, trying to see if we could get Premier League on Sports Byline Radio. Can you believe that's the state of the Premier League back then? That they didn't have a radio. And by the way, soccer on the radio is just atrocious. But it was in Hammersmith in West London. I took 2 meetings there. And I remember riding the elevator down, and a guy said, my favorite team is Detroit Lions. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I thought, is it because of the 3 lions? He's like, yes. He goes, what do you think's going to happen now that Gruden is gone and you have Callahan? I was like, oh, wow, you do know. Oh, that's kind of cool. But that's when I was coaching there, too. And they have such a thirst for a sport where you can nail people. That's not a combat sport. I've learned more today in 3 hours than I have in the last 3 years, coach. My favorite was always, why didn't you play in the NFL? Oh, I miss signups. And that's it. Speaking of missing signups, I literally have 2 minutes left in this show. And look, I felt bad saying, hey, we're going to have Owen Wilson, because I knew there was a chance we wouldn't. But what am I supposed to do? What if he shows up on time? Some of these people run a tight ship. This place obviously doesn't run a tight ship. And I have had people come in and they go, all right, last question, get off the air. And it's also a common courtesy too. And sometimes somebody really wants a long answer. I'll cut them off as a courtesy to the others, which is a little bit weird as well. But yeah, I have 1 minute left in the show, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. So my apologies. Is out of our hands, but apparently I will be able to record him. We're 8 minutes away now. Oh, wow. This is one of the all-timers. Of just people not being courteous and considerate to other, we've got a live show here. Other people just tape. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Listen to me on KNBR 68. That's coming up 2 to 6 today. And tomorrow, Owen Wilson.
Yeah, man, I hope we don't have brain damage.
Great way to end the show.